Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. It's me, Moshe Kasher, with my brand new voice.
And his same old wife.
You know, honey, every day I wake up next to you, it's like a different woman. In that I feel that you might have multiple personality disorder.
Well, you know, you actually don't wake up next to me because by the time you wake up every day, I'm already way into my day.
You know, it's funny. You do this character on the podcast, I've noticed, where you're like the put-upon wife. But in reality, you're broadcasting a persona to our listeners that doesn't really accurately reflect the situation on the ground in our household. The other day you woke up at 11:15 actually, and
that was very rare, and it was like 10:15.
And you didn't even mention it as a like, hey, that was a solid, thanks, brother.
I did.
You know, the other day I caught you in the most Natasha Leggero position I've ever caught you in. We came home. And you're having your the tile redone in your antique bathroom?
Well, because it's all old pink tile, so I tried to keep it all when we moved in, but the floor is so cracked, I had to take it out.
And I came around the corner, and Natasha was on her knees, nearly weeping, going, they destroyed it. They destroyed it. And it was as if it felt...
Because they took some of the pink tiles
off
like the wall.
It was as severe as if someone had abducted our child. And
no,
then I
wasn't.
said, destroyed what? And she was like, 4 pink tiles. And in reality, you were like about to cry over 4 pink tiles.
But I love those old tiles because they're irreplaceable, and I love, I just love old things, and I hate for them to get destroyed.
You are neurodivergent as it applies to antique house things.
I guess so.
When it comes to that, you have your own unique way, and I love you for it. Natasha, speaking of unique ways, we had a big to-do, a big kerfuffle, a big conflict about lingerie last week. And our listeners, you know, it's always interesting to know what'll get our listeners really to get their gears going. And you guys, we got a lot of feedback.
Moshe says lingerie's dumb. No one likes it. Well, how could a man like it? And and I'm telling him that that's not normal.
Right. And we got a lot of feedback. So we thought we'd go through some of it.
Okay, here's one. Hi, 28-year-old hetero guy here who just listened to the Valentine's Day special. Also not a fan of lingerie on
What's
women.
up, my dude? By the way, not a fan. I just want to shout you out and say, what's up, my dude? And happy Valentine's. We should have hung out. We should have done a Broentines.
So he's thought about this a great deal a few years ago, and so he had to write in. Firstly, I think Moshe's keyed into a big part of the problem, the lace, which is not a texturally appealing fabric. It could be sheer. As guys, a large part of our arousal is the prospect of running our hands along our partner's body.
All right, this guy's creeping me out a little bit at this point. Yeah, I was really connecting to him, but...
Even at best, high-quality lace is rough enough to contrast unpleasantly with the smooth, supple feel of a woman's skin and curves.
My God.
He goes on and on. Secondly, these are your people, Moshe. For naturalist-leaning guys like Moshe and me,
Well, hold on. You missed a very interesting line. Cheap, fast fashion polyester lace can be sharp enough to cut a guy's hands open. Speaking from experience. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, that is hilarious.
I was going to skip that part
You're
for
like running
sake.
your hands up her teddy, and you're like, ah! You look down at stigmata.
He says beauty is found in the essential human form, so that he does seem like a Dahmer type. So the simpler, flatter, and more form-fitting the material of the underwear,
I
the
agree
better.
with this dude now. Yes, it feels like a little bit too many bells and whistles.
The flowiness and, again, often raised textures of lingerie obfuscates the body's shape and runs completely counter to these minimalist principles.
I can get.
Oh my God, he has one more point that has 3 points in it.
This guy's thought about it a lot.
Finally, there's the stuffy obstacle, the patriarchal ceremony of it all. Special purpose lingerie implicitly communicates that A, money was spent on this underwear specifically in an effort to objectify the woman and please the male gaze, rather than on practical undergarments that prioritize comfort.
This part I don't care about.
It conveys a pressure expectation of having probably very vanilla sex, almost akin to writing an appointment on a calendar.
I get what this guy's saying
Because
here.
there's nothing sadder than getting all dolled up in your lingerie only to find that your partner happens to not actually be interested or in the mood at the moment. That's not allowed in our house.
Mm-hmm.
A man wants to tear, this is point C.
That's sub-point C.
Sub-point C.
Yeah.
A man wants to tear a consenting woman's underwear off as soon as possible in a sexual scenario and toss it aside, not gingerly slip it off and drape it over a velvet hanger because it was so expensive and is so delicate.
Although I will say, you know,
That's a good point.
there is something pretty hot about underwear on sex. A lot of women don't like it because I guess it's probably pretty uncomfortable, but there's something hot about the underwear stays on. and just gets a
Flips to the side?
just flip to the side.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So that was a one for me. I'll read the next one. Hey, this is in response to the lingerie discussion. I was never into lingerie for myself. I have had various previous ex-girlfriends who would get dressed up from time to time in lingerie, and I sometimes appreciated it and other times was ambivalent. That said, about a year ago, for a surprise for my then fiance at Christmas, I got myself some lingerie. Got myself some lingerie? She fucking loved it. Are we talking?
The name's Paul.
Okay, it's Paul. That could mean anything. But then I got a different item, little lingerie undies with wrist cuffs and a bow tie as a sexy butler costume to surprise her for New Year's. Then, over the course of the last year, I've easily built up my collection to a dozen items. It was something I
Is
never...
he talking about sex toys, too?
I don't know. I think he's talking about...
Handcuffs.
He's dressing in women's lingerie for his now wife. It was something I never thought I'd be into. I'm over 40 now, but the amount of joy it brings my wife is worth it and fun. As a dude, this is something never talked about in my guy circles over the years. Yeah, I would imagine not. This is not something that you bring up at the UFC gathering or the Super Bowl Sunday. Hey, I've been wearing crotchless panties lately, but maybe other friends wear it, but I do not know. That's fair enough. Maybe a lot of people do this, and we just don't know. I don't think lingerie is a must or a high priority, but it's also fun to hang around in for the weekend while making drinks, taking psychedelics, listening to music, cuddling, and watching movies. Now,
I would say just take some silk pajamas for
well,
that.
I don't know. This guy definitely seems like he is living his best life. This dude puts on a butler teddy, crotchless panties, and eats mushrooms while cuddling and watching movies. I mean, this person seems like he's having a really nice life.
Okay, all right. Is there one for me here?
Let's find out.
Hello, Moshe and Natasha, and happy Valentine's Day. Just want to chime in about Moshe's claim that men do not like lingerie. I acknowledge that he requested that only men respond to this question. Wait, you did?
I did, and I realized that was a mistake. I should have had women writing in and telling me to go fuck myself. And
that's why everyone's agreed with you so far.
Well, but this is all about.
But it is for men.
No, but
I guess also for women.
It was a mistake. I should have had women write in. I would have loved to have heard them say like, "We don't wear it for you," which is a hilarious idea. It's like, who do you wear it for?
Well, she said she chose to ignore your request. The last boyfriend I had, whom I dated for 4 years, was so into lingerie that it made me angry. This man would initiate sex, and just as things were getting hot and heavy, he would tell me to go put something sexy on.
Oh my God.
And I would have to go into the bathroom to buckle into some uncomfortable lingerie set before getting to have sex. See, it should be fun for her, too.
She should have had a man like me. I'd be like, it's all good.
By the time, that's why it was fun when I wore lingerie under my fur coat to pick you up at the airport. Like, I was kind of having a fun time, too.
That's fun.
But you didn't like it.
I did not like it. That's not true. That's a mischaracterization, similar to the fact that I never, ever wake up with you.
And I would have to go into the bathroom to buckle into some uncomfortable lingerie set before getting to have sex. By the time I was all dressed up, I wasn't even turned on anymore. He did this probably 90% of the times that we had sex for the first year we dated. I eventually told him it was annoying and we slowed down. But he'd still excitedly ask for it on occasion. He should buy her the stuff then. So she gets what so she doesn't have to have like figuring out what he likes.
This woman should have found a way to have functional underwear that was also sexy for him so that she didn't have to change.
She said, I fucking wish men weren't into lingerie. I guess it's better than a man constantly asking for anal, but still annoying.
You know, this is the whole... Is it better? I mean, it's like, you know...
Constantly asking, you got to definitely curb
that.
that.
The problem with constantly asking for anal is it implies the person on the other end isn't, no pun intended, isn't into it.
Has already said no many times.
So it's like, why do you want to... I've never understood the idea of wanting to do something the person doesn't want to do.
Right.
All right, here's one. I re-downloaded Instagram just to send you guys a message saying I'm not into lingerie.
Damn.
I really don't know why, but it's just fine. Most of the time, I'm just excited she's getting naked and don't give a shit about what she's wearing before that.
Wow, Moshe.
All right, another one, Tosh.
I have to agree with Moshe on the topic
Dude, this
of
feels
lingerie.
fucking great.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess it does make sense for men to chime in. As a dude, it's not my thing at all. I've known many women with varying degrees of enthusiasm for lingerie. It makes you feel sexy sometimes. And anecdotally, they all seemed to understand that it was a thing for them and that they could enjoy and find sexy, but that most men could take or leave them. Personally, I find a t-shirt and body shorts way hotter than lingerie.
Booty shorts.
Okay.
You know, I did get a message, a DM actually, where somebody was saying, I understand what you're saying about not being into lingerie, but what it is good for is it makes my partner feel sexy, and I'm into her feeling sexy, and that's sexy to me, and that I could get with. I understand that, and I also, as an actor, as a trained actor, and a fine actor, You know, sometimes you'll put a costume on set and all of a sudden you'll feel like you're in the character. You know, it's probably like that a little bit. Like when you put the sex costume on, you're like, I'm a whore now.
All right, here's another one. Oh, I like this. I like this sentence. Moshe's totally wrong.
Okay, but at this point, we couldn't say I'm totally wrong. Since
I love lingerie. I feel like most men do. I can be tired or half dead, and if my partner comes out in lingerie, I'm immediately awake. I get what you mean. It is kind of basic. I cannot resist.
That's your
it's
words,
like
not his.
I know. The strongest cold brew. It's sexual meth.
I like this.
I've never done meth. Wait, have I? No, I haven't. Also, I will say I'm in an open relationship. My primary partner wears lingerie and it's great, and the other woman I'm seeing will not wear it and doesn't even like sexy underwear. And honestly, it's kind of an issue. Don't use my name in this. So, although Moshe is wrong about lingerie, he is right about the fact that it's okay to have an open relationship.
All right, now this person's just tangentially grabbing topics we've discussed in the past and just defending his worldview.
Natasha's right about lingerie, but very wrong on her judgment of relationships that aren't 100% monogamous. By the way, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying I don't want that.
I'm just going to take this as a win for me because in a way he agreed with me. R.E. Lingerie. Hey, Mr. Mrs. Legero. Moshe has some hot takes, but this isn't one of them. Every guy my age doesn't get lingerie at all. By hot takes, he means bad takes? I think he means bad takes. I think he Okay, but he's saying I'm right. Every guy my age
Wait, a hot take is bad?
Well, I guess, a controversial take, right? Okay. Every guy my age doesn't get lingerie at all. It's just complicated wrapping. Makes me feel like an old-fashioned boomer or something.
All right.
Okay. Now, and by the way, I love boomers, and I just want everybody to know I think boomers are cool. Okay. Next one. 40-year-old male. You want this one?
No, you can read it.
Married for 15 years. Moshe is 100% correct. Would I be psyched if my wife picked me up from the airport with lingerie under a coat? Hell yes. Am I any more excited about that than I would if she was wearing normal, cute underwear? Nope. Exactly, Natasha. This guy gets it. I did like it. I thought it was sexy what you were doing, but I didn't think it was sexy because I was like, is that the new Stella McCartney Lace You Can Feel collection? I was like, oh, this is hot because she's here for hot boning.
All right. Well, I don't think we need to read the rest of these.
Okay. Lingerie is a bunch of nonsense. It has nothing of value.
I'll just read the first sentence of the next 5. Taking Moshe's side on this one, Moshe's absolutely correct about lingerie. 100% agree that lingerie is designed for women to feel sexy. I have to side with Moshe on this one. And then the last one, lingerie doesn't really do anything for me. So, honey.
Oh, this was the message I was saying. I'm down with anything that makes my wife feel sexier. So from her perspective, lingerie turns me on because it's the confidence. It's a self-reinforcing feedback loop. I really do agree with that. Anyway, look, what can you... lingerie doesn't really do anything for me. It has a distinctly 80s Playboy vibe. It seems like a trope and it doesn't get me riled up. I'm all for pretty underwear, but at a certain point, it starts to become very costumey, and the idea of putting on a pre-sex outfit feels silly. I agree. Now, let me...
all right, let me say something.
Let me say something. Let us say something at the same time. 1, 2. You ready?
Can I go?
No, we're going to go together.
Moshe.
Yeah, all right.
Here's the thing. We're working all day long as a mother. It's degrading. You're wearing the same shirt with stains on it. Maybe it's nice to, get into something that's sexy and also you be into it. Like this person says, when I broached the topic with my wife, she told me that she likes it because it makes her feel sexy. If it's more for her, I can get on board with that.
Let me say this.
Why don't you get on board with it then?
Let me say this. I got a few thoughts on that. First of all, it's very interesting that you set it up as she's a mother because, as everyone knows, the primary demographic of lingerie wearers are new moms. That's classic. You don't even start wearing lingerie until you've had a couple of children. But what I will say is I agree with that. I think that that's true. Like if it makes you feel sexy, I'm into that. I never said lingerie turns me off. I said it doesn't turn me on. It's not like when you're in lingerie, I'm like, ugh.
So why would I want to go to the store?
Get out of here with that crapola.
Why would I want to go to the store and spend all this time getting like a cute, sexy outfit for you when it doesn't turn you on?
Because it turns you on. It makes you feel sexy. And I'm into that. I'm not against it. It's not a active turnoff. Like the thing you do, how you do the thing where you do the, you do the like burps when we sleep together, like the schoolhouse burps. You're like, I can do the alphabet and burp language. That is an active turnoff for me. But the lingerie, it's not a turn off. And if anything, honestly, if I'm getting real honest, it's more on the number line towards turn on than turn off. It's just not very far down the line. I mean, because I'm like, oh, sex, sexy sex, cool. Now, you know what is a turn off? Like a old, like a dingy pair of underwear. That's not. I'm not into that. I actually think there's a balance out here, which is not costumey lingerie, but just nice underwear. I think every guy would be into that. Not the snaps and the Fredericks of Hollywood, but some just just a mwah, just a mwah. And you know what else would be?
Why don't you buy them for the women?
You know what would be? I'll buy them for women.
For the woman in your life.
I'll buy them for the women. You know what would be a huge turn on for me? Anal. Could we try that? Anal? How about anal?
All right. Can we
what do
take
you
a
think
call?
about anal?
Can we take a call?
Real quick, could I ask you about anal? Would anal be a possibility? Could we maybe do anal? How about anal?
Listen, we have people waiting.
All right, let's do it. Let's do a call. But anyway, I feel very gratified that for once,
I can't believe
you've been shut down so dramatically. It's almost like you borrowed my toothbrush. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Remember when you used to have a lunar calendar to figure out when you were ovulating and you used to have to shoot hormones into your butt to figure out your fertility?
That was really hard.
Well, you don't have to do that anymore. The indignity of the past is no more thanks to modern fertility.
Knowledge is power, and when you know more, you can make better decisions for your body, your health, and your future. There aren't many decisions bigger than having a kid, but for many women, their fertility is a big question mark.
Which is why modern fertility was created. It's an easy and affordable way to test your fertility hormones at home with a simple finger prick. Mail it in with a prepaid label and you'll get personalized results within 6 business days.
Traditional hormone testing at a fertility clinic can cost over $600. I paid way more. But modern fertility tests the same general set of hormones for only $179. So if you go to modernfertility.com/honeymoon, you can get $20 off your test. And then you can have a beautiful baby like I have.
Well, we don't have a baby. We've got what is known as a big girl. She's actually in the room right now, just in case anybody's wondering why we had to place that caveat in there. Anyway,
Right.
If you want to be like us, go to Modern Fertility. Figure your stuff out.
Get $20 off your first fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/honeymoon.
That means the test will cost $159. That's a fraction of what it would cost at a fertility clinic. $20 off your fertility test when you go to modernfertility.com/honeymoon. modernfertility.com/honeymoon. Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Recently I've been having an unbelievably awful ache in my side, and I've also been vomiting blood. And I thought to myself, hey, I should go to the doctor. And then I thought, I'm not going to go to the doctor. It's too much of a headache to get an appointment. And then I realized, wait a minute, ZocDoc.
ZocDoc helps you find expert doctors and medical professionals that specialize in the care you need. Bleeding from where, Moshe? Your mouth?
Everywhere, brother.
And deliver the type of experience you want. I've used ZocDoc before. It makes it so convenient. You can read
easy.
all of the reviews. You can find a doctor in your area. You can go find a doctor in your area if you want to drive to a doctor. You can find a doctor even that day who will Zoom with you. It's amazing. They can get you your prescriptions.
It's the best because they just show you what's available that day, so you don't have to call clinic after clinic. We really, really recommend ZocDoc. It's for people who are in a rush. It's awesome. On ZocDoc, you'll find quality doctors who will focus on you, listen to you, and prioritize your care. And it's the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun.
Go to ZocDoc.com/honeymoon and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/honeymoon. ZocDoc.com/honeymoon.
Okay, we're going to call Lauren in Portland, Oregon. O'Regan.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
We're great. Let me ask you a question, Lauren. If we were to come to a live Endless Honeymoon podcast in Portland, do you think you and 200 of your friends would attend?
I think a lot of people would attend. I, however, am leaving on Friday to a new state.
For fuck's sake, Lauren. What state?
I'm moving to Colorado.
We're coming to Colorado then. We're gonna adjust our plans.
Great.
Okay, we're adjusting our plans. We'll come see you in Colorado.
That sounds great. I'd love that. I think Colorado's better anyway.
I do love a Colorado. Remember we took that beautiful trip to Colorado, Natasha?
Yes, I loved it.
We had the best time. Hot springs galore.
Let's go back.
All right, maybe we will.
So what's going on?
Okay, so the context of this is basically that I just got out of a little bit of a rough relationship of a person that I basically hated the whole time. And I kind of like stayed in it because I kind of would keep hearing from like friends and family like how much they liked him or they thought he was a good fit for me or things like this. So I just kind of kept thinking like, okay, maybe I'm jumping the gun or I should give him a chance and just kind of staying in it longer. And so now after the fact, now that we're broken up and moved on, I'm hearing now from all my friends like how much they hated him and how horrible he was. And so my so my question is basically just like moving forward, like how do I ask my friends and family like for their honest opinions while I'm in the moment and like
Well,
expressing that that's what I want and need from them?
you know, I it's rare on this podcast that we have such a slam dunk of easy advice. But this is so unbelievably easy, which
Really?
is to me, which is you should probably stop asking. Why do you need the opinion of your friends and family on the people you're dating in order to find out if you like them? Why don't you trust your own instinct? You didn't like the guy.
Because she feels she's been made to feel that she must have really bad instincts because of how big of a loser this last one was.
Yeah, but lucky you. You have all the evidence you need, which is you can't rely on their opinion anyway. So
No, you're right.
So what the fuck does it matter? You know what you like, who you like. You know the people that surround you will be dishonest with you about what they think of the people you're dating. So you get to trust yourself. I just think that's so easy.
But like, isn't it a thing where we like pick up? I guess I second guess my own self, which is why I look for outside advice. I don't know. Like, I just feel like, like if I'm only looking for red flags and then I cut it off early all the time, and then I finally find someone who's like, other people aren't seeing red flags, and so they're giving, I don't know. I just felt like it was very like confusing to get such an opposite reaction from everybody after the fact.
Well, I think that, I've gotten into this situation where I've told a friend, oh God, I fucking hated her. She was evil. I'm so glad you guys broke up. And then they're back together in 3 weeks.
A classic. I would say that's a true classic.
And then I just have learned to not say stuff,
Yeah.
but that's like, that just takes a while and you can't but you could mention to your friends if they say anything, maybe on this one, don't ask for advice. And, what do they know about your relationship? And if they say something, well, you that last guy, and just say like, yeah, I would love it if you didn't bring that up. I'm moving on.
I find that there is no value in getting the opinion of your friends and family about whether or not they dislike the person that you dislike. The only value for me in hearing from my family is when I like someone and they go, "Oh, I really think she's cool." That makes me feel more confident. That makes me feel better. Oh, awesome. I'm glad that it's not just me that likes her, it's everybody else too. But the idea that you need external support to fix your picker, I mean, that just doesn't even make sense. To me, I understand the instinct. It's not I sympathize with the
Talk
instinct.
to a therapist.
But
That's step 2 for sure.
I mean, what you have in your life are people that have proven to you that you cannot trust them. What was the red flag with the guy?
Oh, I mean, he's pretty bad. Like he's actually a narcissist, and
We live in Hollywood, honey. Like you're not really allowed here if you're not a narcissist.
A narcissist to us, so we're both narcissists, and we love it. We think it's actually a positive personality trait.
I don't think you guys are this bad, but
I think the idea that you knew you were dating a narcissist and needed somebody else to tell you, yeah, he's a narcissist, you need to get out of this. That's the bigger issue here. The bigger issue is not whether or not you can trust your friends and family. The bigger issue is why you don't trust yourself. Ooh, goddamn, coming in hot with some Dear Abby type Dr. Phil advice over here.
So get out there, meet some guys, take it slow. Don't tell the new boyfriends what a lame narcissist your ex was. Like try to just really move on in a lot of ways. I think talking about it expands it, So, just for at least you can't control if someone brings it up to you, but you can control you bringing it up. And it takes some self-discipline, but I think that would be good for you.
Here's what I learned in my dating of Natasha and my whole dating life. And here's what therapy actually helped me with, is I needed to forget other people. Other people are valueless. They're not in the relationship with the person. They're only seeing the projection that the person's bringing when they go out to Fuddruckers or whatever with you. They're trying to impress these people. So they can't even if your friends were trustworthy, which they clearly aren't, they're all out to get you. You couldn't trust them anyway because they're not getting a real picture of the person. What I got out of therapy was I was able to differentiate in my mind the noise that was my neurosis that every woman I ever dated, it would come up, where I could identify, oh, this is bullshit that my mind is telling me. Like, it was because it was never really clear. It would always be like, you got to get out of this now. That would be kind of the extent of the fear. And then I could start to trust my own instincts. Like once I could identify the parts of my mind that would try to sabotage a relationship that were just my own fucked up relationship problems, then I could actually do a real assessment of the person I was with, And when I get to narcissist, it's like, that's clearly when it's time to press eject.
All right. Well, good luck.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
We'll see you in Colorado. Heck yeah.
Okay, that sounds great.
We love Colorado, and we're not going to go to Portland now.
My sister's still in Portland, so maybe come and say hi to her.
We're going to Portland. We'll be in Portland. And the other thing is you can always call us and ask us about the next guy because we will give you the real. We don't care. We don't care about your feelings.
All right, I'll hold you to it.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
Good luck.
Bye. Thank you, guys.
It is true. Like, I bet part of it is her bringing it up and asking her friends, like you just have to stop talking.
Well,
about
we've all been in that situation where you go, oh yeah, that person did suck. I'm so glad you saw that. And then a week later, they're like, oh, we're engaged. You're like, well, fuck, I just fucked everything up.
Yeah.
But no, I think you go to therapy to figure out what part of you is sabotaging every relationship. And then what's left over is your real feeling about that person. And you know what was left over with you, Natasha? That I liked you.
Oh, thanks. I like you too.
All right, why don't we do another call? That one was so quick and to the point.
Okay.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
Have you noticed lately that there's been a great shift in reality where everyone feels a collective ennui, life feels hopeless, and basically depression feels like the default reality?
You're joking.
Well, I might not feel that way, but a lot of people do. If you're feeling down, and you know what, even if you're not feeling down, you just feel like you need somebody to talk to work through some mental health crisis that you're in right now, there is no better time to find a therapist than right now, and no easier way to find one than through Talkspace.
At Talkspace.com, you can sign up online and get a personalized match with a provider that's right for you, typically within 48 hours. There's no need to commute to appointments, miss time at work, or line up childcare in order to attend sessions. It's mental health care made easy.
Listen, I get it. It's difficult to commit to going to a therapist. It's difficult to rouse yourself from your lethargy. The misery you know is better than the misery you don't know. So you just stay in that misery, but you don't have to be miserable anymore, and you don't even have to leave your house. Talkspace comes to you through your computer. And
not only is Talkspace affordable, and it takes in-network insurance. As a listener of this podcast, this is big, you'll get $100 off your first month with Talkspace when you go to Talkspace.com/honeymoon.
$100? That's crazy.
To match with a licensed therapist today, go to Talkspace.com/honeymoon to get $100 off your first month and show support of the show. And listen, therapy, it really does work, and it works fast.
Yeah, I've been telling Natasha she needs therapy all week long, and she's real close.
We have been in therapy together, and it helps.
That's true. Our therapist is awesome, and we see him on the screen, and we don't have to drive anywhere. It is the best. Talkspace.com/honeymoon.
Maybe this will challenge us. Let's call Nick and Emily from Boston.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Thanks for calling in.
Oh.
You guys almost match.
Yeah, you almost look like you're the same person. That's very interesting. We were just talking about narcissists, and you guys must be narcissists because you're dating your gender opposite but physical exact. I mean, this is like a chimera. I love this. You're well matched.
How can we help you?
We've been facing a dilemma when it comes to like marriage. Where we don't know how to do it because I don't want a ring.
What do you mean?
I don't wear them. Like I don't like them.
Physically want a ring.
I feel like they're dirty a little bit, like underneath.
Do you want a commitment from him?
I think we're both down, right? Like I think we're down for everything, but it's like, why spend a bunch of money on this thing that like at best I would just probably lose.
But I see that you're wearing earrings. Do you ever wear necklaces?
Oh, I'd wear a necklace, yeah.
We've talked about that.
Would you call yourself a classic romantic?
We're both romantics. I don't know about classic.
What about you guys? What are you into? Like Skinny Puppy, Marilyn Manson kind of a thing? Is that your kind of musical energy?
No.
No? What are you into?
Nah.
He DJs, can't you tell? He's like an amateur DJ.
Definitely not a DJ.
Okay, good.
What are you into?
Bright Eyes,
Bright Eye.
Tame
Okay, so
Impala,
kind of emo
Bon
situation.
Iver.
Okay, great.
Ozzy.
Ozzy.
There
Okay,
we go.
so they like
Weird
cool
Al.
music.
Yeah. Why? I mean, the classic thing to do for cool alternative folks like the two of you who are in the situation where you've realized that the ring is just a bacterial collection device
A $5,000 bacterial collection device.
is to get a tattoo, like a little finger tattoo. What about that? That's a commitment thing. I mean, you could get like...
Listen, she just keeps like huffing, and I think, do you think there is maybe something to giving off in your social life? People, a ring does mean something. It makes men a lot, not all men, but it does make men kind of like consider you in this category that you're not on the market.
Thank you for saying not all men, because that's how I feel about it. Not all men will avoid a married woman when it comes to flirtation.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying, you're hot, and he obviously wants you to wear a ring to say that you belong to him.
Natasha, would you consider yourself a classic romantic?
I don't know that that's what it's about.
No,
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating, but I think it's
I think
nice.
you're right. I think you're right. I think it's helpful. It's like helpful to be taken like in a professional environment, just like have that completely taken off the table.
So you can say it.
How about I'm married in tattoo cursive across your chest? And then you could just pull it down when somebody flirts with you at a bar. That could be cool.
Functional.
Wait, how about I have two ideas here.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Do you guys want a wedding?
Like a small party, probably.
Yeah, what if
She's nodding. She's saying no.
No, I'm not saying no.
Okay.
I'm not saying no. I think the whole thing is like a racket.
I got it. I mean, this seems obvious, and you probably already know this on some level, but what is obvious to me is that neither of you are hyper-traditional people, right? Even though you live in Boston, which was a huge mistake if you wanted to go away from traditionalism, because Boston, kind of the classic Tea Party, kind of home of the American ideal. But you guys are alternative, weird people. And so you're taking all
I would call you cool, not weird.
No,
but...
I'm saying that in a positive way. I mean that as a compliment. But you're taking these trappings of this hyper-traditionalist structure, this racket, and going, that doesn't apply to me, that doesn't apply to me, that doesn't apply to me, this sucks, maybe this isn't going to work for me. But obviously the answer is for you to just grab the plate of the marriage racket, toss it on the ground, shatter it, and recreate your own thing. Hire a tattoo artist to come officiate your ceremony and do the tattoo as a part of the ceremony. Have an Ozzy Osbourne impersonator, come sing at the like, just whatever it is.
That would be awesome.
It sounds awesome.
And have a cool party and have it like mean something to the two of you, because that's all that marriage really is. And I think, if you don't have any sort of ceremony or any sort of symbol that you're not just what you are now, which is boyfriend and girlfriend, what's the point of getting married? Like it's just a deeper commitment. So maybe just discussing what could that be? And it could be something ironic or whatever, but I think it is nice to have something.
What you got to do to put it in terms that you can understand is you have to bite the head off the bat of institutionalized marriage, okay? And just like, if a ring doesn't work, get a tattoo. If a tattoo doesn't work, don't do a ring. If a necklace works, try a necklace. Whatever it is,
you could get like a local artist to make you like a ketubah like that we have, where it's
totally
like you can like write out like a poem or something and then have it framed, and it's maybe at the ceremony at your party. Maybe the Aussie guy can do it, but something that's like, it could be your own vision. There was this rabbi in San Francisco called Michael Lerner, and he used to have this line. This isn't going to apply to you exactly, but I think there's a metaphor in it, which is he said, people always come to me and they say, I don't believe in a God, like a man in the sky, whatever. And he would have this line. He would say, why would you allow the God that you don't believe in to keep you from finding the God that you could believe in? Now, we're not talking about God here. We're talking about like traditionalism, which is kind of a similar thing. Why would you allow the marriage that feels false and unromantic to you to keep you from finding the wedding or the marriage that does feel meaningful? And you know what I'm saying? So like, toss everything away. Fuck what other people think. If it comes down to it, you don't have to do a ring at all. Just find something that feels meaningful to you.
I think you wrote it already. I think we need to smash plates and bite the heads off of a couple
It
bats.
sounds awesome, honestly. It sounds like a cool. It sounds like
And
a
take
cool
some
way.
pictures and frame it and look at it when you drink coffee in the morning and know that you're now, married.
Because what is marriage really is like it's a declaration. If you don't do a shotgun wedding, which is also a beautiful thing, but even that in a way, it's just a declaration in front of your community that you've transferred into a different dimension of connection, right?
And then people stop calling him your boyfriend.
Right.
Because no one really takes boyfriend that seriously, so he's your husband.
Yeah, I like it. Or your high warlock, and you'll be his high priestess, as I'm kind of guessing is going to go down. Find it, make it your own. That's what I say.
Yeah, fuck a ring.
Fuck a ring. Actually, that would be a really cool wedding ceremony if the two of you both fucked a ring in front of the community.
All right, well.
The same ring or different rings?
Well, you got to, like I said, you got to make this meaningful to you. So I can't make these rules for you. I'm Jewish, so it'll be the
True.
same.
It's like a figure eight, like infinity.
Oh, that's really nice. You guys you guys have a golden infinity symbol forged, and then the inside of it, kind of like with velvet and Vaseline and silicone, and you both fuck it. You both fuck it in front of your community to declare that you're more than just boyfriend girlfriend. That sounds beautiful.
I told my dad that we were doing this podcast, and he was like, I hope it doesn't get too raw.
Well, have him tune in just to the part about you guys fucking a figure eight symbol.
And also, I think you guys are going to have a good life together. You both seem really fun.
Yeah, because
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, for sure. Right? What is marriage? Our marriage is just creating a community for the two of us. Like, what is our life going to be like? What's our rules going to be like? So you start with the wedding. Start with the marriage. Make your own thing. I love this.
No jewelry.
No jewelry. Do whatever you want.
I think I got married so Moshe would surf less. Now he has to ask permission to surf.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. They were sweet.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't want to wear a ring.
Yeah. Who cares?
But I do think it's like, you can't just be like, okay, we're basically married. I don't know.
Right.
It's not
No.
It kind of
There is
feels like that would get old.
Well, there's two ways to think about getting married. One is I'm buying into this like really hyper basic, conveyor belt of humanity thing that everybody does. God, how boring. But you can flip that and you can say, wow, how beautiful that I am entering into this like tradition that every society and humanity does, and I'm like declaring in this very like fundamentally human way that this is the person that I love, and you kind of declare that before your community. There's something I think that is nice about that, but definitely don't allow the things about marriage or anything in life that turn you off to keep you from doing something that turns you on. Find your own way.
Get yourself some lingerie.
Get yourself some lingerie. I wonder what they think about lingerie.
They're into it.
Yeah, they probably like black denim lingerie, like old like death metal, Norse metal kind of lingerie.
I'm excited for their wedding.
I want to go to it, actually. I want to see them fuck that figure eight. Natasha, before we get off, I just want to tell you that I love you, and I have one big question for you.
What's that?
Would you be down with anal? At all? Just a little anal?
I anal you too.
I anal you.